All right, here I'm running the Windows Defender, and you can see the CPU is staying about 4.6 gigahertz, which is its max. The GPU, 57 degrees, 24% usage. CPU, 19%, and doesn't show the temperature there for the CPU, but then you could use your core temp to see the temperatures. I just shut it off for a few seconds and I'll bring it back. There, it's back, and it's showing the temperature still. So we don't want to run this virus scan Windows Defender for too long. It doesn't really affect the temperature on my processor as much as it used to after I changed the CPU, so I'll shut that down. And you want to make sure that your display on the firm mark is set to the highest that this can handle as far as your monitor goes. And then you run CPU burner, and you'll see the core temperatures on the left there go up. I think mine get to like 77 degrees. That's about as far as it goes. And the CPU is at 100% right now. So the CPU is at 100% running at 4.4 gigahertz. Temperatures are running around 72, 74. And this space, you don't have to look at that. Here I open up my SIV for my MSI, my Gigabyte motherboard, and I wanted to look at the CPU fan speed and the top case fan speed. The CPU is going to run at full RPMs when it's at 100% like this on the CPU. So you'll notice when I click over back to the CPU that it's already running at like 74 degrees. And the CPU fan's running at its I think 1800, 1900 speed there. I can't really see it. 1900, I think. I also have a System 1 case top fan, and I'll show you that in a second here, what the CPU case fan is running. Degrees. Now I'll go to the System 1. That's the top fan, and because I'm on SIV, I can actually adjust the fan. So I'm going to move up the fan speed a little bit. Using that little knob there, you can move it up a little faster. Right now it's running at under 1,000 RPMs. I just went to 1,152 RPMs. Whenever you make changes on it here, you have to apply it on top. So whenever you move one of those little blue dots, you have to apply it on top. See, I'm going to move it all the way up there now. And then you have to hit apply. See, apply. And now the case fan's going up. It's up to 1,400 RPMs right now. I think the top speed on that fan on top, it's the original CPU fan. I think it's like 1900. So right now we're just testing the CPU. The CPU is still running around 74, 76 degrees at most. So it's doing really well. Back to the CPU there, you can see how fast the CPU is running. It's at 100% right now. It's on the edge of 100%. So as soon as that fan goes into 100%, the CPU stabilizes at whatever temperature it's at. If I change the CPU fan RPMs, it probably wouldn't even stay at 74, it'd probably even go warmer. So I'm going to stop this test right now, and I'm going to run the GPU stress test that's on Fairmont Mark at some point. See, now I'm going to show you the case fan on top has gone down a little bit. I'm going to just reset it. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing this for myself. And the CPU fan I don't touch. See how it dropped? The RPMs. Temperatures are around the 40s right now. And I'm going to click that 1440 Fairmark test for the GPU, and this comes up and tells you what percentage of the CPU is being used. I believe it's like 97% right now, and the temperature for the CPU is on the bottom there. I can't see it really well, but it's like 60 degrees. And I just stopped that so I can see. I'm going to run it again, I think. Yep. Run it again. I think I'm seeing 53 degrees Celsius on the CPU on this GPU test that's running at 97%. On top it tells you the percentage it's running. Okay, if you go to the little spyglass on the bottom of your Windows 11 box, it's a search box, whatever, or if you just type it from the start menu, type Windows Memory Diagnostic Tool, and you'll run this tool. And this will allow you to check your memory on your system. So this is what we're going to do next. I basically run that. It's going to want to restart your machine, and then I run the test. It'll take about a half hour to do a standard memory check. You also have the option to do an enhanced or extended memory check if you want when you get to this blue screen that comes up, but I just do the standard one. It seems to be good enough. Okay, you'll see the results if you keep looking at that blue screen, but if you miss it, when you boot, under Event Viewer, you can go to Windows Logs and right-click on System, and then do a Find. Right-click on System and say Find Memory DIA, and it'll find the results in that information listing there, as shown. It's a free game from Microsoft you can get, and then you could get MSI Afterburner. And there's videos online. This is MSI Afterburner, and what it does is it leaves a data sheet on your screen when you're playing games. It tells you what the FPS is, your core temperature, anything you want can be displayed on the screen while you're playing. And here goes Halo.
Move fast and kill faster.
Killing spree.
Active camo available.
Double kill. Triple kill. Killing frenzy.
Power weapons inbound. Power weapons on the field.
Halfway to victory.
Repulsor's mine. Got the pickup.
Active camo inbound. Active camo available.
Enemy Spartans are closing in. Targets are over there.
Toys are ours.
Running riot. Nearing victory.
I picked up the grapple shot.
Power items incoming. Power items have arrived.
Over there! Hostiles in sight. Tag one.
Spectacular victory.